Our biggest innovation throughout the last years is the 3D vent technology. When we developed this technology, our goal was to create the most comfortable harnesses in the world. But how do you create a comfortable harness? For sure, the wider the harness gets, the more comfortable it gets. But more width brings three major challenges with it. On the one side, the more surface of the body you cover, the more you have to take care for a good ventilation in the end. The second is, our harness has to be somehow three-dimensional, because the wider you get, the more you have to follow the shape of the body. The third is, the tying point is all very narrow. How you get a good force transmission from this narrow width to a very wide padding in the rear. To ensure proper ventilation, we take a stiff 3-layer foam and die cut a big number of ventilation holes into it. Second challenge is the 3D shaping. With the patterns of the harness, we create three-dimensional surfaces which perfectly follow the shape of the body. Third topic is force transmission. How do I create an equal force transmission? Coming from the tying point, we follow these load-bearing lines which are stitched on the three-dimensional shape and transmit the force perfectly equally into the whole surface of the harness. From this construction, we created a collection out of 4 harnesses. Basic model is the Cyrus, meant for sports climbing whenever you're hanging longer time suspended in the harness, for example in belaying or in alpine belays. Big, wide leg loops and hip belt, incredibly comfortable. Orion, based on the same sizes of leg loops and hip belts, more orientated for alpinists and ice climbers. When you wear thicker pants, you can adjust the leg loops with the buckles on the leg loops. Atmosphere, the small brother of Cyrus, is made for sports climbing or lightweight alpinism. Solaris, the female version of Orion, with the same construction, it comes with a higher rise and a smaller hip belt. With the 2 buckles in the hip belt, it perfectly adjusts to the size and shape of a woman's body. All 4 models come with 4 gear loops. The stiff core of the gear loops makes clipping and unclipping of a quick draw really easy. In the first gear loop there are 2 attachment points for an ice clipper, which can be attached like this to the hip belt. In the leg loop bridge we have our high trill abrasion protector, which makes this point really wear resistant against abrasion when tying in parallel to the tying point. Tying in is possible either through hip belt and leg loop separately or directly through the tie-in loop. Carabiner for a belay device goes through the tie-in loop, as well as a rear Ferrata set can be girth hitched through this tie-in loop. If you're looking for maximum comfort, you will find your perfect harness in our 3D vent collection.